of crime.
Hello. Can you hear me now? Hello. This is Jay with Guilty of Crime. Can you hear me now? Come on, guys. You still can't hear? All right. Well, I'm gonna wait for you to tell me because I'm pretty sure I got it right now. I see Rachel. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime. Today is Monday. It's my first day back at work after 2 weeks. So look at you guys get the background, you get my normal thing going on, my intro with the background, no green screen. But what it took was to reset everything, and I missed one small thing. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're talking about the House of Horrors and the zulocks. Gay couple sentenced to 100 years for abusing adopted sons with lots and lots of CSAM. As a matter of fact, they didn't get caught for the CSAM initially. They got caught because another piece of garbage predator got caught, and then they started digging in. So you get caught digging in. Some Walton County Sheriff's Office raided a home in Loganville, man, which if you're used to or you know about Georgia, all right, and he informed them, he turned them in so he wouldn't get such a thing, that Dell and Zachary Zulock, who are married, you guessed it, were committing similar crimes in their home in Oxford. Now, this is in Georgia, and they were producing this stuff with their children, you guys. Now, the reason it's important that I'm talking about this today is because, well, we know Jay from Guilty of Crime is married to a woman, right? Let me adjust my background a little bit. Married to a woman, almost 20 years. I have 2 children. This is absolutely a trigger warning case. I also got a sloth from Kimberly Johnson. I got the trigger warning doll and a sloth. I got a happy pill, but we're not doing a happy pill right now because this case is absolutely horrendous and disgusting. All right. Now, I did a lot of searching into this gay couple that was sentenced to 100 years. And, there's a lot of people's perspective that wants to take this case instead of seeing it as a case of massive abuse and CSAM and the system being better. Let me change my fading real quick. They are looking at it from the perspective of you should never give gay couples children because gay couples can't raise children correctly, etc. I'm messing up my background here. So that being said, we know that's not right. We know it just had to do with these predators being absolute monsters. Now, Kraken says when a foster child was living with us, Homeland Security showed up to the high school because she finally got registered and they could hear her let us know where a picture on the dark web. I didn't quite get that, but I understand that you've had some issues with that. What's up, R, Adam, and Sea Life? You guys should be triggered because this is a. Let me pull up some pictures. All right, y'all. I'm back. Can you hear me? Let me see. Hello. Yes, I see you guys can hear me. You can hear me. Okay. All right, we got it. Let me adjust my screen real quick. All right, guys. Here we go. I lost a bunch of people. No. All right. Well, thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you so very much. I appreciate you for the $4.99 super sticker because this episode is not going to be monetized. There's no way. We're talking about CSAM. We're talking about pedo rings. We're talking about madness, you guys. All right. All right. Let's go. All right, Wes. You cannot be in this episode today. You cannot be in this episode today. No, you can't. All right. Welcome, everybody. I had 100 and probably 30 people in here. Now I'm down to 88, but technical difficulties. Stand by $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And thank you for the Guilty of Crime 420 membership. All right, y'all. Let me put that, hit the like button if you like how I present true crime. And we're going to get into this case today. I've got a lot of images to show you of. There's no sound again? Really? All right. Let's see. Let's see. Am I good? Is there sound? Hello, everybody. I can see there's sound. I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime. All right. All right. You guys can hear me. Those are the people that were backed. All right. So this is a crazy case already. All right. So this happened, and you guys know. Thank you, Patty Ward, for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Let's just get into this episode now. Okay. Craziness, you guys. These guys I want to wipe out from this planet myself. All right. I really would just love to wipe them out. Today, I want you guys to realize that this case is not about your sexual preference. It's not about sexuality. It's not about being gay or being lesbian. Okay. This is about child abuse, pure child abuse, like raw, rugged, awful abuse, similar to what Stefan Stearns was doing to Madeline Soto. Okay. So I'm going to put a trigger warning. I appreciate you all. Again, you're welcome to your opinions, but I need you guys to understand that this is about abuse of children that we can't even see who they are. The faces are blurred out, so I can't spend this episode saying, say a prayer for these victims. Here they are. We can pray for them and hope that this doesn't hit your blood. The settings. What do you? Yeah, this just might be my internet today, you guys. I'm gonna start on this just so we can do something. All right, trigger warning. This is gonna be terrible. This episode's not gonna be monetized. It's really bad. I tried to find things out that I can't. Look at this monster that adopted two children and was producing CSAM. And tonight, hey, I'm about. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's try to see if we can play this. Let's go. Trigger warning.
Hearing in December, Zachary Zulocks, the depraved man who sodomized his adopted sons and pimped them out to other gay pedophiles repeatedly for 3 years, asked the judge to show him mercy because he has found Jesus in jail. Well, listen to what this Christian told investigators as reported by Town Hall investigative journalist Mia.
Yeah, it's really bad today, the internet, but please do. Yeah, it's frozen. I'm sorry. We're just going to have to get through it. And again, trigger warning, this is terrible, not to be monetized. Very bad language, very bad words. I can't help that these monsters graped these children, and every other thing is talks about that. These guys were nasty monsters that took advantage of children, and then they produced this that probably reached hundreds if not thousands of other children, and they only got 100 years in prison, which, by the way, I hope in the shower they get bent over without any lube, you guys. And hello, Jamie. All right, let's go.
Cathal. Under police interrogation, Zachary said William started the sexual abuse when he one day had the urge. When pressed on whether 10-year-old Jay-Z, who suffered severe physical injuries from being brutally raped, expressed any pain, Zachary said, "Unfortunately, it seemed like he wasn't bothered by it." He told investigators that the boys would cry out during the abuse, but they'd walk them through how to handle the pain. "How did that strike you?" an investigator asked.
All right, now think about this, you guys, and thank you so much, Savage Barbie. You guys are my crew that have been here since day one of the Madeline Soto case. Now, Madeline Soto didn't get to live to tell this tale. Really not spoken about to Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Referring to the first time the boys were raped without him, indicating he was more so upset with the fact that his husband left him out at first. Zachary and William Zulock had cameras recording every corner of their home day and night as they carried out their sickening abuse of the two boys. In the words of Judge Jeffrey Foster, "I tell people never say you've seen it all, because in this line of work you will yet again be reminded of the depths of depravity and men's ability and willingness to engage in unspeakable cruelty to other humans." As reported by Town Hall, the DVR recorded over itself. The GBI's crime lab only forensically examined a snippet of footage between July 17, 2022, going back about 10 days, to July 26, 2022, the date of the device's seizure. Over the course of that week and a half, the children were abused almost every day at all hours.
All right, so I'm going to stop for a second before I really wanted to talk about this case in a whole. Yeah, this is a oh my God, Bogart. These guys are sickos, and this is not something that doesn't happen behind your neighbor's door. These things are happening, but these particular monsters took advantage of the situation. They adopted these little boys that didn't have a home to, and they promised them to show them love. They put rainbows and love, and their shirt said best daddy, when all at the same time they were really saying best daddy in a way that is unspeakable to any of you. It does get much worse. It gets so much worse. And the boys were disabled. That's even, I mean, it doesn't matter if they are disabled or if they were just a normal child that it, I don't even know. I mean, this is just, it's so hard to speak of. I was looking at pictures earlier of these little boys and I almost cried. I didn't see their face, but what they were wearing and how well they were presented with these two monsters that hid in my community. They hid in my community like no other. Oh. All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna see how long my internet's gonna work.
In her investigative report, Ms. Cathell wrote, "Of the most horrific instances of abuse, on July 18, 2022, William is seen forcing both boys to perform oral sex on him, sometimes simultaneously, in the morning and evening." Camera 10. William, who often only wore a robe and nothing else underneath, while walking around the house, would prompt the children at will. On July 26, 2022, mere hours before authorities arrested them, William and Zachary take turns raping Jay-Z, camera number 4. In addition to the overt acts of abuse, the tapes establish a pattern of grooming behavior, such as a very strange level of comfort being.
All right, now keep this in mind. Now, I just got an internet thing. I just got something from my internet that says, by the way, we identified a network issue in your area and we're fixing it right away. So, guys, if it goes out again, I'm going to come back and give you a full episode. I promise. Thank you, Clark, for the $4.99. I want to get to this. I put so much time into this. Bree spent so much time on this, and yeah, this is very evil, but you know what? I see life. It's something that you guys have to think about, because if you see something, you have to say something. This is horrific. These are the things that happened to Maddie, you guys, but it was happening by Stephen Stearns. And now I look back and I'm wondering, what did Jennifer Soto do to Maddie? How involved was she? How much in the bed was she with Stefan Stearns? How much did she participate? How many got out of the shower did they say, get on the yeah, this sucks because this is a really like this episode to me is really important to get out there. Let's keep going.
The prosecution said. These videos, which just show a snapshot of the abuse suffered over only 10 days, show how normalized this abuse had become in this house of horrors. It's astounding to the court how normalized constant sodomy of children became, Foster remarked. It's clear that this abuse would have gone on and on and on, District Attorney McGinley observed, if Zachary Zulock wasn't dumb enough to widely distribute photographic and video evidence documenting their crimes. During his sentencing hearing, Zachary Zulock, who has now reconnected your trust and failed you both as your papa. I sinned against you both and even God himself. I adopted you from one bad past situation that you both endured and ended in an even worse situation. I wrecked and destroyed your lives. I tarnished the last name that we gave you both. I cannot ask for forgiveness, nor do I expect something that I don't deserve. If I could go back in the past, I would start by establishing an actual relationship with God and then raising the two of you.
All right, now this is absolute bullshit. Yes, they filmed it, and the reason they got caught, I have a whole episode for you guys, and this is not letting me film the way I want to. So, what I wanted to come in and say is these two guys, and these two guys did that to their adopted children, but there's so much more. There's another guy that brought these guys, these monsters, into the mix, you guys. And yeah, Foxy Amazon, it's absolutely my Comcast. They just messaged me and said my particular address is having trouble. All right. So, yes, that's how they got caught, was because somebody else in their county got caught and they said, you know what? If you let me have a lesser charge, I'll tell you where the CSAM's coming from. And ta-da, these guys, lo and behold, all of the nasty, dirty things came out from their IP address, you guys. This story is just so much. You can't, there's not much about children because you can't put it on there. They were below the age of 10, but I do have pictures of the children I'd like you to see, and I'd like to say prayers. But this case, and we're going to hear the jail calls. I have the jail calls, and I have a bunch of stuff to present. So if my internet lets me, I will. But I really wanted to. This case is so close to home because this makes people like me and my wife look bad. I go on the Fox News and I'm hearing Fox report about this, and they're talking about gay people shouldn't even be able to adopt children. This is very heartbreaking, but it's affecting my community because these monsters couldn't just get off by themselves. All right, let's keep going as far as we can. These guys are full of shit, and anything that they're saying there is so they are not getting the death penalty. They got it off because they fandangled it around just like I believe Stefan Stearns is going to.
In the God-loving home that you both deserved but did not get. Zachary then went on to address Judge Foster. For 34 years of my life, I tried to do what was right and live a good life. No criminal history, following the laws, no drugs or smoking.
Now, remember this when you listen to these jail calls in a minute, how entitled these garbage pieces of trash are. What they're telling the judge is not how they feel or what they think. And I believe if they ever got out, they would do this again. And I'll take that, Bogart. I'll take that for a win. I'll take that for a win. Thank you. Thank you all that donated today, because this is not going to be monetized by any means. I just want this to be out there, you guys. All right, we're going to hear the jail calls next, so I get
etc.,
into
Zachary
this.
pleaded. Even in jail, I've had to say no to drugs, violence, and sexual advances. In pretrial detention,
Liar.
I finally accepted Christ Jesus as my Savior, Zachary said. There, he attended Bible studies, earned his Bible certificates, and even had a fellow inmate baptize him. I'm a different person, a new creation, Zachary insisted, a changed person,
I
who will
can't
strive to
stand
make a
him.
difference in whatever God calls him to do. God's mercy can convert these mistakes of my past into wisdom of my future. I ask the court to give me a second chance, to not give up on me, just like God never gave up on me when he should have over 30 years, Zachary implored, not to allow my worst mistake to define my future. I know that Christ is in me now, Zachary concluded, and that I am enough. I know with God there's always a way, and by faith I will continue to find whatever he has in store for me. Zachary's public defender suggested treatment as an alternative to incarceration. If not, then preferably a sentence of 25 years in prison, plus life on probation post-release. He noted that, my client has given his life to the Lord.
Did you see that? I'm going to stop for a second. We're going to get into the boys. I just want to make sure I got it here. They assaulted their sons for years, and then we're listening to them beg for mercy in the name of Jesus. Look at this. Zachary met Lawless. These are other people that are involved in this. This is a bigger thing, you guys. So I want you to know this is a bigger thing. And these are things that probably went down in the Soto case. These are probably things that went down between Jennifer Soto, Stephen Stearns, Santa Claus, and all those other people that were involved in the trafficking and the CSAM and the sale of it. And any other news info, please. I want there's a contrast between them, what they're saying. See, Lev, thank you so much for the $4.99. As they say this, they've got an unidentified man going by the name of Blake on a dating app called Grindr. Following the virtual introduction, Zachary sent photographs and videos to Lawless of a little boy he referred to as his son. He says, I'm going to FUCK my son tonight. Stand by. Then Zachary allegedly messaged Lawless on Snapchat and sent pictures of himself essaying 11-year-old child. After he was busted, Lawless denied having any physical contact with Zulak, but boys told law enforcement officers that Zachary invited him multiple times to engage in essay with him and his two children. All right, again, trigger warning. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. That's the same guy. Those are the same guys telling you that they repent in the name of Jesus. And we're going to listen to the calls that they're and how they talk. All right. So Walton County Sheriff's Office in Georgia raided a home of a Loganville man who informed them that William and Zachary Zulock were committing similar crimes in their home in Oxford. I believe that's Georgia. I've never heard of Oxford, Georgia. All right. So this is about William and Zach. This is a bigger case. The couple adopted two young boys. They were found guilty, but I'm going to go back of a bunch of numerous heinous crimes, including aggravated sodomy, child incest, and sexual exploitation. This house was turned into their house of horrors, as described by prosecution. Okay, so that means that more than likely, these guys had giant bottles of lube, toys, cameras, rooms that are unidentifiable. All right. Yeah, and so do all the priests. Right. So Goldilocks, thank you. This is happening next door to you. I want you guys to know that. This is happening to a little boy that plays at the playground, or a little girl that plays with your daughter. This is happening when you go to a student teacher night, back to school night, and you see those kids that you can't tell. This is what's happening. So pay attention. Okay. Yeah, this is awful. Anybody can do this, but it happened to be these awful awful gay men that portrayed themselves as saints. Now, what's next? Unless Jill has exorcisms, I don't believe they change at all. Well, just listen up. Next, you'll believe they didn't change.
As District Attorney McGinley noted, if Zachary Zulock had gone to trial on the entirety of the initial indictment, he could have received as many as 9 life sentences. Zachary Zulock is deeply disturbed and morally corrupt, regardless of any claims of finding faith. He deliberately lied to the court in his statements and has consistently exhibited a depraved lifestyle.
Yep.
In 2011, he was in a relationship with this man. This is Nathan Donald Moore, a Christian youth pastor currently serving a 30-year prison sentence for the sexual assault of a 14.
You see that? This doesn't just go to these two guys that were married. It doesn't. And thank you, MM Clore. You did bring this case to my attention first and foremost, and then Plunder picked it up, which is where I got the jail calls. I noticed Annie Elise did it, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to share this with you that are following me every day about Madeline Soto. All right. Where did this happen? This is in Georgia. All right. This was in Georgia. And these monsters they took every advantage that they could. All right. They didn't want to get the death penalty, but they deserved it. The investigation started, you guys, and I need you guys to know that. This investigation started in 2022 in Georgia. So when you guys want the Stephen Stearns case to start, just know it's not going to start for years. This happened in 2022. They had to look at pictures of all the acts that I just talked about, and the House of Horrors, and the toys, and the probably oral and BDSM and all kinds of other things happening with young children that are disabled. Okay, so trial didn't happen, and that's why they did a deal with these guys. And I'm telling you right now, they might do a deal with Stephen Stearns for the 60 counts of SA because they don't want to drag this into the court of public. They should have been given the death penalty, but instead they said that they repented and found Jesus and they're sorry. Here's another guy involved in this. It's not a small isolated incident. It's a bigger incident that I bet you that the neighbors were involved on. Yes, meandering. And I have a meandering buddy with me. So if you guys need to get a laugh, thank you, Kimberly Johnson, for my little cute little guy. And also Kimberly Johnson told me today, Jay, take your meds. Okay, so we needed that. All right. No, they will not. They will not be the same, you guys. They will not. All right, let's keep going. I got so much.
18-year-old boy at Heritage Christian Church in Fayette County, Georgia. Moore exploited the victim's trust as the youth pastor, presenting himself as a father figure and persuading the boy that he was the only path to God. Notably, this same 14-year-old was connected to Zachary when the police chose to drop the case against him in 2011. As reported by Mia Cathell, Zachary Zulock used Grindr, a social networking app specifically for the LGBT community, to make contact with other debased men like him. Zachary had multiple cell phones filled with images and videos that he made of him and William's despicable actions. On the app, he received requests instructing him to do something with your son. He also used Snapchat to provide live broadcasts of his assaults. Calling Zachary's disturbed actions despicable is just too polite. It's laughable that he's found Jesus. Don't they all when they are caught?
Yep. They do. And I'm going to show you some pictures of the angels. I'm going to finish telling you the stories and then we're going to keep going. This is not a cult happening. These are two married men that posed as these wonderful LGBTQ guys that just were so loving, and they adopted these boys and saved them. As a matter of fact, it was quite the contrary. Thank you, Sneeve, for the one guilty of crime membership. Very infuriating, but you know that we've been listening to the same type of stuff as we listened to the Madeline Soto case, because I believe that Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto also have ties, and things are going to tie back to CSAM that was distributed, sold, traded, of Madeline Soto. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you listen to this. This is not an isolated incident. These things are happening. All right, so I'm gonna pull this one down, and I'm gonna show you. I have to bring the victims up and show you the kind of what's show you what I can of them. They're all blurred out, but I mean, these pictures, you would never realize in a million years that this was going on. All right, so I want to play it. Hold on. This is where I get stuck with these guys. Oh, this is a JPEG. All right. Let me what do I do with it? I'm sorry, you guys. I'll have to pull it back up. I for some reason can't find the slideshow. Bree. All right, she did a beautiful slideshow, and all right, let's listen to jail calls real quick. I want to get through as much as I can in case the internet goes out. Let's listen to how awful they are in their jail calls, and then I'll work behind the scenes while you guys are watching this. Thank you to Plunder for bringing this out. Now, I jumped on this when Plunder came out because in her interview, it says here jail calls, and then it says body cam videos. And I was like, yes, we got to get those and see what happened. But as a matter of fact, they don't exist with the arrest if you look closer. All right. And you're welcome, Sweetie Brookahire. You don't have to thank me for being a mom that I am. I love my children. And this is so like infuriating, you guys. Infuriating. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support. Listen closely, please, while I'm working in the background. Listen to these jail calls as they talk on the other side of what happened to them and how much of a victim they are. All right, Bree, I do have it. My internet got all messed up and it kicked everything off that I had ready for you guys. Let me back it up a second. All right.
Investigative reporter with Town Hall. I've put links to her Twitter and their YouTube channel below. Thanks to them, we have jail calls that relatives of William and Zachary literally turned over to the press. They were talking to William and Zachary, trying to get information, trying to figure out what was all done to these adopted boys.
They come in blazing with AK-47s or whatever.
How many people was it?
10, 15, a lot. They were doing like a drug bust or something.
Yeah, you can tell in Zach's mugshot that he has a big bruise on the left side of his face.
Oh, man, they should have done more than that.
Him against the floor in the foyer. He had bruises on his knees, his face. They slammed him on the floor. And I hate to say this, but I don't sleep in clothes, so they arrested me in my bed naked, put me in a cruiser with no clothes. I sat in the back of that cruiser from 11:30 to about 4 a.m. naked in the back seat of that cruiser.
Can you guys believe what they're talking about? Now look at that house. That's a house of horrors inside, you guys. That house is gorgeous. I would kill to have a house like that for my dogs and my children and my mom, Grandma Pearl. Now, I love my house. It's beautiful. It's getting fixed. And I live out in San Jose. So the cost of my house is probably more than that. But I would die to have a new house like that for my family. And these mother effers were in that house misappropriating funds. And they did walk around naked all the time. They were constantly abusing these children as if their children were a play toy. They that's how they made it. They walked around, they did things to them. They probably assaulted them when they woke up in the morning and had a wood. They probably had a wood and said, "You need to fix this for me, son." And then did the stuff and filmed it and made the money. That's how these pieces of shit monsters did this. So when you hear them complaining about it, I wish someone would have stuck their foot in his ass knee deep, okay? Because that's how mad it makes me. All right, let's keep listening to these whiny monsters.
Cruiser while they searched our house for God knows what. They seized the house, everything inside of it, all of our cars on the property. I think they took our house because They think there was extra money coming in from somewhere, and we're like in our 30s and we have this big giant house, and they didn't think we could afford it.
I mean, can I ask you, does this
They couldn't.
guy know you at all, or some random thing he's just trying to, rat somebody? I mean, can I ask you that, or?
I mean, can I ask you, does this guy know you at all? Is he trying random things? He's just trying to rat somebody? I mean, can I ask you? Or now let me tell you what he's referring to. Is he trying to rat somebody? It was the guy that got caught doing CSAM. He told on them to get a sweeter deal. And what they're talking about in these jail calls, they're trying to dismiss the fact that they were making a ton of money off of the CSAM. So it's infuriating and aggravating, but that is how money comes in. That's how they were making their money. So whatever it was that they were doing, their little bit of funds, that's not how they got their house and their cars and their little gay rainbow shirts and their happy little stuff. Yeah. Trigger warning for you guys. If it's too much, please skip it. I have to tell this story. It needs to be told by me, apparently. So I'm gonna tell this because lots of people asked if I could, and I promised to do it. So when they're trying to get out of trouble on these calls, and they don't realize to what extent these officers have their IP address and all of the stuff, terabytes of stuff. Okay. So I want you to know that. Yeah, the more details that come out, the worst. All right, let's keep going.
So last time he was here, I told him something, and I told you last time he was here, I told him something. I wrote him down something, gave it to him. It's something around those lines, but more.
Me and Zach worked our butts off for everything we've had. And they called me out front again for fingerprints, and I saw the new charges that they're putting against, I'm assuming both of us. There's 17 charges.
I mean, are you worried about the boys? Of where they are, or?
I mean, yeah, but I can't talk.
Nope.
I definitely can't talk about that.
I don't want to say it, but brace yourself for the truth. Okay? Just
Did you hear that? Brace yourself for the truth.
You talk to Zach. Tell him I still love him.
I can't cry myself around other people. I just need somebody who doesn't hate us.
And you could hear in the jail calls one of the zulocks saying, oh, we worked hard. We worked our butts off for our home. They're talking about this $500,000 home that the men lived in with their adoptive sons. And they're claiming they got this beautiful $500,000 custom-built home with 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, all just from working hard. One of them is a government employee, at least they were, thankfully, before they were sentenced to like 100 years in jail, to like 100 years in prison, and one of them was in banking. Well, they didn't want to admit that they got any type of monies or illicit, ill-gotten gains from the activities against their own sons. Let's dig into this case. I wasn't necessarily going to cover it. However, one of my Patreon members asked me to dig into it, so I began digging into it. But again, thanks to the
All right, so I'm gonna pull this down and go do this case myself. I thought there was gonna be body cam, and I saw that Plunder did it, and I said, "Whoa!" But anything that she's gonna say, I'm already saying or already thinking. So thank you, Rosie, for the 99-cent super sticker, and choo choo. Appreciate you guys. All right, I'm gonna pull that down, and I have so much more information here. I wish the internet was doing better. All right, I did not do the judge issuing warning to the activist charged with so initially this is in the town hall. This is town hall, like in their area. They were originally issued a warning. So let me pull this up and I'll tell you a little bit more about the case. I'm kind of telling you in bits and pieces because of the way that it worked here. All right. Where is it? Is that it? William. Let me see. Okay, that's not it. Sorry about that, guys. I was already all fired up. This should be it. All right. And slideshow. All right, there it is. So I'm going to put some pictures up while I'm talking to you guys. The victims are safe now, but you guys, they're going to be ruined for the rest of their life. So, I mean, physically, they're going to be ruined, and mentally, they're going to be ruined. Look at those little boys on there. Those are the zulocks. Do you see the back of their shirt? It says Zulock. This is so cool, like dad. And if you listen to those calls that we just heard, they didn't care about those children whatsoever. As a matter of fact, that guy said, "Are you worried about the kids?" And he said, "Well, I don't want to. I just need someone that doesn't like me right now. Can you tell Zachary I love him?" He didn't care anything about it. So while we're playing that, let me tell you when this happened. July 22nd, 2022. All right. So this is years ago. Walton County Sheriff was contacted by GBI's Child Exploitation and Computer Crimes. And it was a cyber tip that they received from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children regarding suspected homemade CSAM that had been uploaded to a Google account with an IP address in Walton County. After further investigation, the investigators executed a search warrant at that address that you see there with the House of Horrors. Now, they met Hunter Lawless, who admitted to receiving and viewing the CSAM. Now, Lawless stated that he received the pictures and video from Zach Zulock. Lawless later pleaded guilty to sexual exploitation and was sentenced to 20 years, with the first 12 in prison, and agreed to fully cooperate in the prosecution of the zulocks. Now, the zulocks are those family, the guys you see there. The investigation led to obtain a search warrant for Walton County resident where Zach and William lived with the victims. Investigators learned that they had adopted the two boys a few years before the search warrant was executed. Both defendants were interviewed that night, and they admitted to sexually abusing both boys over a period of time. All right. I mean, I hope you guys are seeing these pictures. Those little boys are so small and so innocent, and we can't see their faces, but say a prayer for those little boys. And somebody said in here they were going to adopt a little girl as well. Yeah, they have a nerve to pose for that. It's all a facade, you guys. It was all a facade. Yes, New Year's 2025, baby. We need to weed out predators like this. All right. Tainting Obama and RBG. Awful. Yeah, I mean, look at that. As a matter of fact, I have an old Facebook picture when Reese was like 2 years old, and then no hate thing came out. Reese, Tori, and myself did a face picture. We had a piece of tape with the no hate. Reese was so cute. I can't believe these guys, these monsters, they posed as that. Yeah, may they go to hell. And the more you hear them talk, the more you're like, these guys are just disgusting. All right, I don't know. Did I play the judge issuing the warning, you guys, in town hall? Bree, do you know if I played the one in town hall yet? The 4-minute one? I'm not sure. All right, this is just I had such a presentation all set up. All right. I'm glad you guys hear me now. Let's move on to this one real quick. If I didn't play it, then we're going to listen to it again because I got there's so much information on this case now. At first there wasn't, and now that they got sentenced, there definitely is. All right, so let's check out the judge talking to them. And then, yeah, you remember that movement, Jamila? That's crazy. Now, this was in the town hall YouTube a year ago. This is the judge warning the zulocks at February 1st and their motion hearings. Now, listen up.
That much of what is out there was conversation that was assumed to be in confidence that obviously was not held in confidence.
Separate motion hearings. Judge Jeffrey Foster warned Zachary William and their defense attorney against speaking about the case to third parties. DA Randy McGlinley agreed with the judge. The warning came after Town Hall published records in the jailhouse calls with the family member
I think most of
concerned
the
about
things you
them.
don't want in the press are things Mr. Haldy would happily not want in the press. Allegations about potential.
Can you believe that they're even negotiating about what's going to be in the press, you guys? They do look good in their mugshots, and they're going to look really good in orange and whatever they have to give them. I can't even believe. Now, I know that people have the freedom of whatever, their freedoms, and it's innocent until proven guilty, but these monsters have now been found guilty. I can't even believe with the stuff they were doing, the distribution ring that they had, what they did to their children, and they admitted it right away that they're even negotiating on this. But now it's all out, you guys. Luckily, it's all out. So after this, I'm going to play a clip of them getting their 100-year sentence, and then we'll keep going, whatever I can do today. Man, they're definitely separate from each other, I'm sure. All right, and hopefully we can find out more soon.
413, 414 issues and things like that. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. The issues in terms of media are not issues related to the attorneys, their agents, the investigative staff, press conferences, or any intentional actions on the part of parties. You know, one of the many things I have to balance here is what is the pressing need and what's the pressing circumstance.
They should be.
Again, and I don't want to speak for you, Mr. Haldy, but I doubt there's anything listed in there that the state says, we really don't, everybody doesn't need to know about credibility or character or prior allegations and things like that. I mean, everybody would love to have that to some extent, considering the present media coverage. It'd be really hard to enter in essence, a gag order against involving one co-defendant's attorney in the state, and not, it's sort of like trying to set up a tripod and without one of the legs. I don't know that my balance is that good. But I do have to compare it to the standards and the narrowness and the compelling interest. So I'm going to do some, as I'm sure your staff in Newton County told you, I was with them until 7 last night. So I, unusually for me, have not actually read the cases and prepped in advance. I'm sure after discussions with counsel, the nature of any exchanges and conversations with family members would probably be much more guarded in light of the circumstances now anyway. Right. But I can't compel third parties who will become aware of information to not say anything.
There's no way.
I've spoken to anybody, so I don't want to make sure it's clear. I wasn't thinking he's done anything wrong at all, but
no.
I mean, it also just makes it easier for other people to respond in a way that keeps the fairness of the case intact.
And that is ultimately our goal, is that we be in a position to, if we're selecting.
So what these guys didn't want is exactly what we're doing right now. I want you to know that what they didn't want. And yeah, I'm sure the judge was very uncomfortable reading these charges. I'm going to tell you after we're done with the next video, you're going to see them getting sentenced to 100 years. What's up, Nicolette? Good to see you. Love to you. I definitely need the love on this day, which is a rough topic. I appreciate you guys hit the like button. If doesn't mean you like what I'm talking about, but you like how we present true crime here on Guilty of Crime. And if you have the means to get a membership, please do. Gift membership, super chat, super sticker. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, you can't shut the dark web down because it's a dark web. Hackers and people that know how to get into the web and go through back end networks and hack into things, you're probably never going to stop them. You know what? I don't know what would make them work so hard to adopt a child and then ruin the children. Now, they may have gotten these children much easier, because I got to tell you, many men that get, and it's just how it is, it's hard to get as a 2 male partner adoption. It's hard to get a young child if they don't have some kind of physical, like if they don't have something wrong with them mentally. Now, I have 2 friends in Modesto that adopted a little boy, but the little boy doesn't talk that well. He gets angry very often. His mom was a drug user, and he's damaged forever. And these two male friends of mine that are just as gay and out as these guys with their LGBT loving stuff that they got going on, all that facade that these guys have. My friends don't have that facade, hopefully. They're doing the same thing he did. So you can go in there and say, hey, Mr. Adoption Agency or Miss Adoption Agency, I'd like to love on a child, and I'd love to help the ones that aren't getting adopted because they're physically or mentally something's wrong with them. Let us have them. We're going to take beautiful care of them. Well, that's what these guys did. They got them and they abused them. So that right there, it's not as hard to adopt a child when it's under those circumstances. Not as hard as it would be for somebody like myself to do that. Now, I want you to know I did adopt Reese. I had to adopt my children, even though I was with my children's mother that gave birth and I was there to pick the donor and everything. I still had to adopt. So that was some work. I don't know what they went through, but it's just, yeah, it's all wrong. Thank you, Mystical, for being a member for 1 month. I appreciate you, the love and support. All right, let's keep going. We got some more today. Trigger warning. And thank you. I don't know if Kimberly's around, but if you guys haven't taken your meds yet, here you go. Hashtag take your meds. That makes me laugh. What am I going to say? All right. Let's keep going. This is, and thank you. You guys are laughing too. Oh, yeah. It's crazy how going through the adoption, you'd be adult parents, you need to pass a psychological test. And they probably just passed it with flying colors, and they were just monsters. They were wolves in sheep's clothing, you guys. I adopted boys because they adopted boys because of what they wanted. Let me tell you, it's going to be much easier to adopt a boy if you're a two male couple, because they don't want men abusing, normally they would look at like a man wanting to abuse females. So they had it wrong. Yeah, go take your meds because this is a tough case. Let's keep going. All right, and hit the like button. Don't forget that, guys. We're almost done here. We got our next snippet.
A jury, select a jury that is as fair and impartial as we can gather.
Yes, sir.
Good luck with that.
So I'm not going to rule on it yet. I do think opposing counsel probably needs to have in the intervening time period.
Yep.
I mean, I trust the agencies involved that if Mr. McGinley, if you relay to them that the matter's under consideration, then I would expect, I think largely it makes it easier for them to say there's an order, or
this just happened.
But at this point in time,
No.
It's also easy to say can't comment on a pending case at this point in time, and we'll sort out what kind of order we need. We'll tailor it as narrowly as possible, but I do think we need input from independent counsel for Zachary.
That judge is very uncomfortable. Now, this happened a year ago. Now, on December 25th, 2024, I'm going to pull up the Daily News, and it's going to show you these guys getting 100 years for this. All right. The laugh is hilarious. And again, if you just jumped in here, trigger warning, here you go. That's how, like, when you try to make your kid laugh when they're little and you you like do something stupid, like make some dumb noise or whatever. It's funny. All right. My daughter's doing cool. It's her first day back. And it's her first day back after 2 weeks. So we're just going to say that. All right. Jammy Dial says, I have 3 stepsons from my ex. They're grown now and wonderful members of society. Lesbian here, biologically ex gave birth, but I adopted and took custody over time. 222, right when you came in, say a prayer for the little boys and girls that are abused every single day, all the time, from predators like these guys. And Jammy, prayers to you, and welcome. Yeah, meander over and hit that like button. We're going to get to that 100-year sentence that just came out on December 25th, y'all. This is where we see some justice.
Zulak as well, since he would come into the case and be bound by it.
Zachary and the husband have been charged with multiple counts of aggravated sodomy. We already read that. He admitted to CSAM and other nearly a dozen people involved in the case, guys. All right, so that came out from Town Hall. I'm going to stop that. Now we're going to fast forward right now to 2025. And these guys are going to look good in their mug shots, hopefully the rest of their life. That's all we see is aging mug shots of these pieces of crap. While I have that up there, let me read you the charges that they were charged with. Now, this article is right now a week ago, like 10 days ago. So, yes. All right. Yeah, that was needed. And pray for the children, you guys. And don't just pray that gays don't adopt children. Pray that we don't have wolves in sheep's clothing like this, because these guys are just as eligible for me to want to chop their off. All right. Any man that does that to a child, I think they should get castrated. I wish you could chop the whole thing off. And if a woman does it, do whatever you want with her too. Just get rid of anything that would be sexual around a child. They don't deserve to even live, in my opinion. I wish I could just throw them on an island with cannibals and we can say, hey, go eat these they're not even worth cannibal food. All right. They're not even worth it. They're scumbags. They're dirt. They're awful. I can't stand them. And I have anger for people that do this. I don't even understand it. I don't even understand it. Yeah. A dozen turd flushes. Yeah. I get so angry at this stuff, you guys. It's so angry. No, this was not. This is in Georgia. Okay. These guys just and look at them now. When you look at the picture of them now, you can see that they're scum of the earth. You can see that they're the evil in their eyes, the dark depravity. Like, I got caught. Here's who I am. But now I'm showing you who I am in this mugshot. And that guy had a little tiny bruise on his face. I wish they would have gave him 2 black eyes, you guys. All right, listen up. I'm going to tell you the charges for William and Zachary Zulak. William Zulak, I believe that's the one on the left. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, William, you can see William is the one on the left and Zach's the one on the right. Although we can just say evil for both of them, and I can tell you what these evil fucks got. Sorry about my language, but we need to protect the children. Those guys are evil. All right, listen what they got. William, for some reason, got a little bit less. Different charges. He got 6 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of incest, 2 counts of sexploitation of children. Now, move over to Zachary, and this guy got more charges of even more things that are bad. 2 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of incest, 2 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of sexploitation, 2 counts of pandering for a person under 18. All right. I can't stand these people, monsters. All right. So they both pled guilty, were sentenced to 100 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, this case was prosecuted by DA Randy McKinley and his team, who worked a whole bunch to gather this information over the last 3 years. Now, this case is a reminder to you guys of seeing something, saying something, thinking something, saying something, and be vigilant to protect vulnerable children those that seek to exploit them. Now, the investigators did a fantastic job, and the victims did give statements, and they told what happened to them, you guys. So they're very much heroes in my book as well. Hello, Wes. All right, let's play this for you guys. This happened
when
a week
police
ago.
received a tip about suspected homemade child sexual abuse material. A Georgia couple will spend the rest of their lives in prison after sexually abusing 2 young boys they adopted. William and Zachary Zulocks of Walton County were sentenced to 100 years in prison without parole on Thursday after they both pled guilty to several charges related to sexually assaulting their adopted children. Those involved with the investigation and prosecution of this case will never forget what they had to see and hear in this case, District Attorney Randy McGinley said in a statement. These two defendants truly created a house of horrors and put their extremely dark desires above everything and everyone else. However, the depth of the defendant's depravity, which is as deep as it gets, is not greater than the resolve of those that fought for justice and the strength of the victims in this case, he added. The resolve I have seen from these two young victims over the last 2 years is truly inspiring. William Zulocks will spend 100 years in prison after he pled guilty to several sexual abuse charges, Walton County Sheriff's Office. The investigation began in July 2022 when police received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children about suspected.
All right, great. So this is going to recap really quickly for you. And then you guys, we're going to go into the estate sale real quick. I really need you guys to stay here and take a look at this house. See what a house of horror looks like. I want you to see what a house of horrors looks like. Okay, trigger warning, but it's not what you think. But still, just thinking about this topic and getting it out is a trigger in itself, especially if you are abused or anybody that knows abuse. So stay here because we're going to do some more after this. All right. Look at this guy. I mean, tell me he doesn't look evil. Those eyes look dead. He looks dead inside. He's just a walking predator. Ugh.
Homemade child sexual abuse material, McGinley said in his statement. This led investigators to Hunter Lawless, a man who admitted to viewing this material and claimed he received it from Zachary, according to McGinley. Lawless was sentenced to 20 years, with the first 12 to be served in prison after pleading guilty to charges related to the material. He also cooperated with police as they investigated the Zulocks. Officers then searched the Zulocks residence, and the couple admitted to sexually abusing their 2 boys, according to McGinley. In their search, police seized indoor surveillance cameras and their cell phones. This led them to discover footage of the Zulocks abusing the children. Zachary Zulocks, along with William, will not be eligible for parole. Walton County Sheriff's Office. The couple sent text messages and made posts about the abuse. Luis Viscaro Sanchez was one of the people receiving messages from Zachary about the abuse, McGinley said. He later pleaded guilty to pandering for a person under 18. This resolution will help the victims continue their process of healing, McGinley said. William and Zachary Zulocks will now spend 100 years in prison without parole. This all but guarantees that the victims will not have to worry as they grow older about their abusers being free. William pleaded guilty to 6 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of incest, and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of children. Zachary pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children, and 2 counts of pandering for a person under 18. He pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of incest, but a judge found him guilty on those charges after a brief bench trial earlier this year. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates.
All right, now let's pull this off. A lot of these are news articles, so I already put in there who I'm crediting it to. Now this I have to show you, and again, stay here. It's an estate sale of their house. You get to see what the House of Horrors looks like, not what you expect. Now, how is that playing?
Delete your footage, all of it. She was doing a story. She said they
There it
want
is.
it to be out in the public. They want more people to know.
This is not the time to be doing this because this is to support the 2 children. But if you want to do pictures or a story, then you need to reach out to the attorney or the sheriff's department, wherever, like, not just come in here and start doing it. Technically, it would be called trespassing for what you're doing without permission. We're under a lot of court order about what we can discuss and what we can't discuss about this sale. We were told that if anybody was here to come here to cause disruption or a problem or make a scene or for media purposes, they were going to be asked.
I want to tell the story that happened.
Why do you
here.
want to tell a story about this?
Because
This is god awful.
I think it's important that people know that something horrible like this happened
It's already
here.
out there. No more needs to be known. It's better that people just.
Oh, it's not out there and it wasn't out there. And you know what, guys? I did follow this case and I didn't know it was the same case because I saw snippets of it from years ago where just like small little minute pieces here and there. And now I can understand why, because they were definitely pushing for people not to know about this. Now, this guy is somebody that's helping some loser, one of those pedos friends that I wouldn't put past, and he looks like a gay guy to me, right? I can say that. He looks like he's one of their gay friends that they were talking to on the phone in one of the calls, like just some piece of shit guy that knows what they did and he doesn't care because they're paying him money to do whatever. So he's helping with the state sale of these two wolves in sheep's clothing. It says right there they investigated the state of two LGBTQ. Now remember, these guys were activists, you guys. They weren't just like two gay guys they were out there with their flags and their shirts and their no hate. They were posing as that while they were abusing their adopted sons. All right. No, he doesn't look clean and he's the one handling. So you're gonna see inside of the house right now.
Not know about what happened here today, okay, or through the week, just for the fact that it's uncomfortable to some people. A lot of people, there's a reason why this isn't a big media blowout, because this is something that is just sick. Believe it or not, I hate to say it happens all the time. This is not the first house where people with children were. It's just an uncomfortable situation that people just don't like to talk about.
Of course. All right, again, trigger warning there. This is Friday, October 13th, the House of Horrors is what they call it. If you guys do a search on House of Horrors, you're going to find a lot of this stuff, but not all put together. It's just bits and pieces where a wealthy, and you know why they were wealthy? Because of the CSAM. It wasn't because of their jobs. Allegedly, routinely, I'm not going to say this word, graped. Listen up. They're two special needs little boys. They adopted through the local child welfare system was open to the public for an estate sale. Okay. So they've been in trouble. They've been arrested. They need money to get their things in order. And that's what's happening October 13th, what they call the House of Horrors. Okay. Two special needs little boys that were technically their sons. So they did get incest charges that had to have been because of them being their sons. All right. Oh, thank you, Auntie Ree. Thank you. I have so many emails. I appreciate you. And Kimberly Johnson, there you are. This is my girl. Let's break up the day with this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. See, it just a little bit brightens the day. Yes, October 13th, Bree's birthday. This is not close to my house. I'm in San Jose, California. These guys were in Oxford, Georgia, which I've never even been there, right? So again, thank you, Kimberly Johnson, for brightening up all of our day. Hashtag take your meds, Jay. I don't take meds, but I love these little pills. Yeah, I don't have meds that I take. But all you guys, all love for those who have to take meds. All right? I appreciate you. Yes, I am funny sometimes. The truth is funny sometimes. That's why. Yes, thank you. All right, little baby sloth pleasure. Yes, yes. All right, listen up, guys. Here we go. Let's keep going. All right. now there comes some of the money, and you guys were talking about they were inviting friends over to do that, and how this is how it got out. Listen, if somebody let's say you've got this street runner, okay? Let's say you're the guy with all of the DRUGS, and you got this street runner, and you're giving this street runner, you have all of it, and then you say, here's a little bit for you, go sell it, here's a little bit for you. That's what they were doing with these boys. They were the people that kept the boys and did what they wanted with them and raped them as much as they wanted. And then after that, they would send these guys out, let them do that. But they were also like, hey, who can I bring back to pay for child sex and to sell the images, etc. Drink your Red Bull, Jay. Why? All right. Am I not fired up enough? Okay, so they call it the child PRO prosty case. Can you believe they're even calling it that? The house was inside the married men's mansion. Now sees the state was listed for $729,000, which is nothing. My house is like 1.2 if they don't even look at it. So I'm like $1.2 million sitting in San Jose, and these pieces of crap are sitting there in a little McMansion at $729,000, living off of these kids' money, so to speak. They brought it in. Look, do you see what that says? Child prostate. What? All right, let's keep going. I hate this case today. There it is, guys. There it is.
The CS that they took her house. They seized the house, everything inside of it, all of our cars on the property. They took our house because they think there was extra money coming in from somewhere, and we're like in our 30s and we have this big giant house, and they didn't think we could afford it.
Look at that.
I don't need fireworks. I have my own firework.
Piece of shit.
State seized their property. They haven't worked in a year. They're painless. They have nothing.
They want to search it because it's the film studio. This video that I have that you possess is a 10-year-old child performing oral sex on an adult.
Look at that.
Two young individuals.
All right, you guys, when you see that, it's like, what? And what's next is average looking house for government worker. I guess I live in the Bay Area, San Jose, California. So a $1.2 million house was built in 1955. When you move over to Oxpodunk, Georgia, sorry if I offend anybody, you can get a McMansion for $729. Just saying. All right. Look at that. Soak it up, guys. Take a look. I haven't seen this compiled into any one of the episodes. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can, and then share this for awareness, you guys. Whoa.
Individuals that the defendant and William had adopted when they were 9, 10, 11 years old, that they committed various and numerous times sexual acts against them, including oral sex and anal sex. Both in their interviews, William and Zachary described bringing the boys down from their bedrooms downstairs into their bedroom.
Damn, dude.
So they started on Grindr. His Snapchat friend would create the content with his sons at their home. He had been invited multiple times to partake. He received multiple messages from Zachary to the extent that he said, "Stand by, I'm gonna my son tonight."
It wasn't just a one-time occasion. Zach would send him unsolicited messages and statements about what he would do to his son.
Did you hear about the case at all?
I did not know. I got this through the statesales.net, and it didn't see anything about that statement on there. They didn't say anything as we were waiting in line either.
When I came in and I saw the kids' things, I was like, gosh, wonder what happened. That was my first impression. And I think for most of us it was, because something happened. They're young. You can tell that they were young.
When you see all these children's toys, what was your first impression of that?
my kids would go crazy here with all these things and like all the collections and all this stuff. They would love it. This is like a kid's dream. If I was a kid, I would be in heaven in this house. It's weird because when you go around the
Look at that. Keep out. And did you see some of those rooms, the way they had stuff? I mean, that's grooming at its finest, you guys. And no one would have ever thought anything about it. You know, if you go into that house now, they did because those people were bringing other people into the house, and small towns, it's going to get out, right? So one of them gets arrested. They find the PORN, and they're like, "Hey, always put the bottom barrel," something like that. This happens. Always think we have script. Yes, yes. Chick. Now remember, I want you guys to keep awareness for Madeline Soto in this case. When we're talking about things that happen to these boys, it's the exact same things that happened to her. We just need to know if Jen Soto was involved or not. Alley Cat to join Jay was kind of giving me membership. I was a member before. Well, prayers to you, Alley Cat. I hope that you do get a membership. I don't see that you're in green right now. Actually, you are in green right now. You do have a membership, girl. All right, so if you guys can get one, get one. Town only had 2,000. Yeah, it's going to get around a 2,000 population town. Somebody's going to say something. Someone's going to get arrested, and then done. All right, and that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, it absolutely. Stearns did the same thing. Ruined Maddie's insides. I guarantee that. And then on top of that, well, he took her life, so she didn't even get a chance for that. Yes, thank you. Everybody, hashtag take your meds, and just know when we say that, it's all love here on Guilty of Crime. We're not about shaming anybody or shaming you for taking your medication because you need to for anxiety or health issues, all right? We're not about shaming anybody on this channel. Even when I come in here and I say, oh, sometimes, creators do this or that, I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just getting out like how I feel about certain things. So yes, hashtag take your meds if you need to right now. Okay? That's cute. Get your membership, girl. Get your membership. All right, let's keep going. We got a little bit more, y'all. And thank you, Jamila. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Let's finish. We got more, but
house, we were noticing, we were talking about it, all the cameras are in every corner. But that was a little weird because you don't see cameras usually around the house unless they were paranoid about what they had in here.
yes. Yes, people, they were running I just said they were running a sex operation there, you guys, and you can't call it that. It was a child. Okay, there was more they talked about at one portion of the time, they talked about at least 12 other people that they saw in some of the videos being abused. So they were absolutely bringing children into that home and abusing them, and they called it child prosty. And then TUSTION, child. What is PRS? Prosty, child prosty. You guys know what that means? That means they had children that they were prostituting out, right? So yeah, that means that it's a bigger thing than the collective, right? Than just, and I can't just say they're two boys. It was a bigger thing, and they were running it. Those clowns were running it, right? They were abusing anybody and everything that they could. Kim Casey, welcome, please do. Yes, it was forced, and it has to be forced because children can't consent. All right, it is very, but you guys have to know about it. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe. You see that? Zachary was the cameraman, allegedly sent the CSAM to less than a dozen chomos. At least 2 other men have been indicted in the connection of the Zulock child ring. We'll call it child CSAM ring. There are still suspects out there under investigation, you guys. This is a bigger thing, and I really do hope that these sickos probably eat root beer candy too. You just read my mind. These sickos are probably eating root beer candy too, but I want you to know that we're going to probably hear about it if there was something bigger with Stefan Stearns and Jen Soto happening with Madeline and what was going down. Thank you, Mom. What's up? I love you, Mama. I haven't seen my mom here in a while. Everybody say hello to Mama Pearl and wish her, we're going to say a prayer for her. We don't need to talk about what, but just send her positive vibes and love. Love you, Mom. Love you, love you, love you. All right. They didn't all get caught. There's people that haven't got caught. They're still looking and investigating. All right. Thanks. Everyone says hi, Mama Pearl. Yes, my mom was here. I didn't see her. I haven't seen her. I talk to her every morning. We text and send each other love, but I haven't seen her. Yes, love to you. Love you, Mama. I hope everything's going good for you today. Stay warm. Don't get sick. Okay. All right. Yeah, no love, no words or explanations needed. Sending all love. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, y'all. Let's keep going. We still have another segment or so. We're at an hour and a half. If you guys do me a favor, if you have the means to send a super chat, super sticker, Venmo, Cash App, any of those, or get yourself a membership or gift some memberships if you have the means to. It is the beginning of the month, and I know that some people can't afford that, but I do appreciate you. All right. There's still suspects out there. Look at this piece of garbage. Now, we did look for these guys on Facebook, and we couldn't find them. All of their accounts have been taken down. Thank you, Annette S., for gifting a Guilty of Crime membership. And thank you, Kylie Cosmos, for the $1.99 super sticker that we're going to say is an avocado, right? It's a happy avocado. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I couldn't do this without all of you, and I couldn't do this without my mods, especially all the mods doing modding and research and everything you guys do. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Special thanks to Bree today that helped me get this episode together so quickly. Thank you, Bree, for the slideshow and the information that you helped me get together. I appreciate you. All right.
I'm talking to people watching.
Hey, Facebook Live, wherever you are.
Whatever you are.
Oh, what a piece of human garbage, right? That poor little boy is saying bye to, whatever. He's being sweet, just a little sweetheart. And this monster. Okay, so this is at Town Hall where a lot of things came up, and we're going to look up Zulock really quickly. And there was one other one that I wanted to share with you. All right. So this was a year ago, and we didn't watch this one yet. So we got one more to go, y'all. One more to go. If you just came in, you know what to do. You know what? I have memberships to gift since it's the beginning of the month. So let me see if I can gift you guys 5 memberships right now. Listen up, stay here, hit the like button. Please hit the like button so I can gift you some memberships.
A horrific story came out of the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. William and Zach Zulock, both LGBTQ activists, were accused of sodomizing their adopted sons, now ages 9 and 11. Now, the story became national news, but after their arrest and not guilty plea, all the media attention just suddenly disappeared. That was with the exception of one outlet, Town Hall, whose author, Mia Cathell, scoured courthouse documents, jailhouse calls, and more. Now, what she found was that this story was much worse than those initial headlines. Now, not only did these men who were married allegedly rape the 2 boys who were adopted through a Christian special needs adoption agency, they were pimping out their children to nearby pedophiles in the Atlanta area suburbs.
All right, this is a massive trigger warning you guys need right here. This is telling it how it is. This is where you do not get monetized, but here's the thing. You don't get monetized, but Angel, yes, they were special needs. Did you hear that? They were going to Christian adoption agencies looking for underprivileged, any boys or children they could get and pimping them out. So here's the definition when you guys talk about Madeline Soto and Stephen Stearns or Jen Soto pimping out Madeline, this is the definition of pimping out your children. Major trigger warning in this last segment here. So please, and I tried to gift you guys memberships and my YouTube's not working again. I do have 10 memberships to gift you guys this month plus more. I'd love to gift you, but it's not letting me. Of course, I'm having everything. Petra, thank you so much for the $4.99. Love you, and I'll send a little joy before we watch this. If you need to take your meds, y'all. Thank you, girl. Complete evil. So cute. All right, guys. Complete evil. Trigger warning. Let's go. Last segment.
And by the way, it wasn't just sexual abuse. A family member told Mia that the boys were forced to stand in a corner for 8 hours straight over back-to-back days as punishment.
Yes.
They were only allowed to move, to eat, or use the bathroom. William was also witnessed slapping their younger son hard in the face. They were just abused every possible way.
I mean, are you worried about the boys? Of where they are? Or
I mean, yeah, but
Nope.
I definitely can't talk about that.
Joining us now is Town Hall reporter Mia Cathell. Mia, what else have you learned beyond?
He said, "Are you worried about the boys?" And he said, "I can't talk about that." Yeah, they were calling themselves LGBTQ whatever activists. They were activists going to Christian church looking for underprivileged or whatever. They were looking for a certain type of children that they can get their hands on quickly. And I'm going to tell you that right now, because if you're a gay man and a gay couple with, two men like that, it's hard to get a child. But if you go through that type of route, it's going to be much easier because nobody else wants to adopt them. All right. It's disgusting.
Beyond what we laid out, and who was it in that tape that we just heard?
Yes, so in the recorded jailhouse tapes that Town Hall obtained, that was one of the adoptive fathers, William, who, in his own words, he describes the armed raid on their mansion, which is custom built and designed by him. And as family observed, their lavish lifestyle just materialized out of the blue about a year after they adopted these boys. They're facing 17 charges, which includes felony prostitution of a minor. In a taped confession, the other adoptive father, Zachary, he admitted to sending this filth, this child pornography, to almost 12 people. So to date, there are still suspects out there, under investigation. We still have not unmasked them. There are no names, but they are circulating graphic videos of these abused boys.
Yes.
Now, Mia, this 35-year-old Zach Zullock was previously accused of raping a child, but was never charged. So how were these two able to still adopt? And everybody knows I'm the adoptive mother of 3 children. So this story is very, it's.
And I'm the mother of 2 adopted children. Some of you guys didn't know that. MM Clar, love you, girl, but MM Clar the other day said to me, Reese doesn't look like, I don't know if she said Reese doesn't look like you, but she said, Reese looks exactly like Tori. Is there something you're not telling me? And I'm like, girl, I didn't have either one of my kids. I didn't give birth to anybody. I didn't use my eggs. I didn't use anything. Tori birthed 2 beautiful children that I took under my wing and adopted. So I'm the mother of 2 adopted children in a lesbian 20-year relationship. So this hits really close to home. Chick, $5. I'm going to need extra meds. Well, get your extra meds, girlfriend. We're almost through with it. So yeah, this hits close to home, and I can see anybody that has to fight for their children to be upset about a case like this. And even if not, it's very upsetting. Again, thank you, Chick Chick. I appreciate you. It all helps.
It really cuts me to the core here, as I assume it does with everybody. But how was he allowed to adopt?
There you go.
That's something that just shocks me. It's just incredible that something like this could have happened. But we already knew that America's child welfare system was broken. But for such a case like this, so egregious, part 3 of my 4-part investigative series, which releases tomorrow, will be detailing everything I found out about this so-called Christian faith-based special needs adoption agency and how a same-sex couple was able to receive services from them. And there's just so much.
Wow. And like I said, Fox says that. So this Christian faith-based adoption agency should have never given a gay couple, male or female, because Christians do not believe that they do not believe that homosexuals should be given any of the same rights that those of heterosexuals do. So right off the bat, a Christian faith-based agency that was adopting out children should have never given us homos children. All right. Now, I wish they wouldn't have given any homos children, right? Send all that. Love you, MM Clar. Yeah, so no homos should get children, especially homos that are going to do this, is what she's saying. And remember, this is Fox News, and I've heard much worse.
Wrongdoing that happened to the state and how they failed these 2 children.
Now, Mia, you report that this particular couple was the darling of the LGBTQ media and even participated in a no-hate campaign. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they were, as you laid out, they were allegedly committing some of the most despicable.
Now, I love you, Teresa Elaine, but I'm a YouTuber that likes to show all sides. So I just showed every side, and I gotta show the Fox News because they did an article, they did a news segment, and these monsters didn't want their information to be out. They wanted us to shut up, and they wanted it to be hidden behind the scenes. They even filed orders and motions to hide these things. So I'm going to take every news outlet that's exposing these monsters and expose it to you guys. So I do understand how you feel, but it has nothing to do with MAGA or any of that. It's just me sharing information that I have on these predators. All right. I love you. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. And it's not about that. It's not about that at all. And yeah, not Fox, but you got to see different sides of it. Okay. And no, I am not a Trump supporter. There's so many people that accuse me. I'm not into politics. I'm not into religion. So never accuse me. I got accused a couple of times of being a Trump supporter. And I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Don't say that. All right. Anyway, let's finish this up. It's only got about a minute left.
Despicable acts that anyone could do.
Right. They were prominent LGBT activists in their niche community. And so they walked in the Atlanta Pride Parade. They were always networking on social media. And so my months-long investigation was digging into how a suburban pedophile ring could just hide in plain sight. They were using popular social media platforms like Snapchat to send the child pornography and Grindr to connect with other child predators. Right. And this is not just Georgia, it's happening in other states.
Thank you.
Do we know how these 2 boys are doing today?
All right, we're going to listen up for a second. That's why we're here, because of the victims. How are the boys doing? Let's listen up. Thank you so much, Leanne, for the 199 towards my next bingo game. I'm going to play bingo when I get off of here because I need to de-stress and Leanne unclench my butt cheeks like you said. Now, no malice towards you. JoJo just says to sign up because that's JoJo's job as a mod. JoJo tells everybody, if you want a membership, sign up. But girl, I promise you, it's not towards you. I do have the best mods on YouTube. Just saying, some people claim the best guests. I claim the best mods. And I know my mods are all love. So no offense to you. She's just throwing out her links. That's her job. JoJo is the queen of links. All right. And I understand any explosion from Moggy Fox folks like Duty Ron is unnecessary. Like Duty Ron? I'm a little confused. Duty Ron's my guy, so I'm not really sure if I'm reading that right. But we all have our preferences. Grinder is grosser. Yeah, it is. It is. What's up, Chief Rocka? It's our guilty of crime guy. And you want the true crime truth? Now, you want the truth? Let's listen to this, all right? Let's listen to this. And no, I never say everybody's all of something, Stacy Pruitt. Not all Christians are homophobic, but what she was talking about is this particular Christian service that was having children adoptions are considering myself who loves your channel and a member. So yeah, Stacy, I never say all of anything are because there's no all of anything are, right? We're in this big world of many options and many things. But yeah, that particular faith-based group in that area wouldn't be typically supporting homos. And I can say homos like that, all right? Remember, I have the best mods. All right, y'all. We're just about done. Look at these guys. They're not activists. They're not fathers. They're not anything but predators and pimps.
They're back in foster care. That's all the state will say.
Oh.
And, they were
They're back in foster care.
the power, the authority that was the one who took these boys from their previous broken home, from their biological parents. They put them in this abusive household, and they could be with Balenciaga designers for all we know at this point.
Well, we should all pray for those two boys, given what they have been through. I mean, we should just all pray for them tonight. Mia, thank you for this reporting. It's brave of you to do it. It's necessary. Thank you so much.
All right. Town hall's amazing. And you know what? Kylie, I love you. You know what? I'm a fact and statistics kind of gal myself. As a matter of fact, and I don't want to get off the topic, but as a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to give you guys a Sebastian Rogers episode that has nothing to do with Team Green or Team whatever. And then we're Team Sebastian. We're going to talk about the statistics and the facts of the case broken down in an analytical way so I can get that off of my mind, because I'm scrolling through every channel on YouTube when I'm looking for something to watch, and I keep finding Sebastian streams that are just people kind of floating, letting people, Team Green, I don't like you. Oh, it's not about us. We're going to look at the case analytically and statistically on what probably happened. And it's going to be titled, or it is already there, set for tomorrow at 4. It's titled, Why Are Sebastian's Parents Lying? What are they lying about? Hey, I got the facts. I got the facts to back it up. If you go over to patreon.com, I uploaded it for you. I gave you the link. You can follow along tomorrow. I'm all about stats and facts and analytical. I'm not an emotional girl that, no, I read the facts. I try to stay with analytics. All right. So that's how we're going to follow tomorrow. So I do appreciate you for tonight. The channel's around in case there's great. Yeah. The one time that I even got into that case to try to report something for you, I got shit talked to. So that was a little that didn't feel too good. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to stay on the positive note. And Jay, my husband, is more of a dad than a bio dad. Right. Clar 199. Thank you for that super chat. I love you. And I know I agree. Allie Kelly, even though we just did this crazy episode about a gay couple sentenced to 100 years for abusing their adopted sons, and CSAM, thank you for thinking I'm hilarious. All right, y'all. Is Duty Ron here? No. Hello, Duty Ron. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's say a little prayer for Duty Ron. He's been MIA. This cancer is kicking my butt. Well, you know what, Duty Ron? You're gonna kick its butt right back. And from what I hear, you're doing a pretty good job of kicking that cancer's ass. So you know what? We're all here for you. We all support you. Prayers. We love you. And have a wonderful evening. I'm glad that you didn't hear this whole topic because it's terrible. But now we can know what to look out for. So everybody send prayers, send love. Yeah, send the middle finger, and we'll go out with a laugh. If you need to take your pills, Duty Ron, go take your pills. Because I know cancer, you probably need different kinds of pills and things. Go kick its butt. All right. Stephanie, thank you. Prayers. And we'll end on that. Prayers for Duty Ron, you guys. I love you. Thank you for being here. If you came in late, thank you for coming. Hit the button on your way out and say a prayer for Duty Ron and go check out his channel. All right. Thank you guys and have a wonderful evening. I love you. See you tomorrow. Mwah. Oh, wow. I didn't even get to this yet. Okay. We'll say Duty Ron says $20 super chat. Thank you all. Man, I wish I could have been here. I wish I could have done this a little. Hold on, guys. My computer screen is driving me nuts. Thank you so much, Ron. You guys, we all love Ron. Send love. Go over to his channel and subscribe and watch all his stuff. He's got the best coverage. All right? Love you guys. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?